disruptions. Really gave you a huge advantage.
It was pretty good. Talked about before the game, that was the challenge, was to challenge every pass, right, and try to keep pursuing every shot as well. And we did a good job of that. It wasn't a whole lot of wide open stuff. So it was a good job. And you're right, we got our hands on a lot of balls. What did we create there? 18 turnovers and probably another half a dozen just abouts, right, where we knocked the ball away and didn't quite come away with it, but it was good.
What have you noticed about OG's reads, in particular, like instincts?
A little better, right? He's put him in some positions to decision make on a couple of our sets, and he's really fired some really good passes out. So that's good. He kind of had a stretch of that playing out of the high post when teams were zoning us quite a bit a year ago. So he can play with that kind of vision. So it was good to see.
So you were saying before the game you wanted Scottie to stop focusing on the paint and take all those three-pointers.
Yep.
You're pretty happy with that, I assume?
Well, obviously he was feeling it out there tonight, right? I'm happy with 14 attempts, but mostly he was great on defense, right? He really set the tone, I thought, of picking up and working on Young, and he was into the game, right? He was pushing, he was advancing the ball, he was throwing ahead for transition buckets. Really got us going, I thought, in transition offense. But his defense was outstanding tonight.
One of the things you always talk about is kind of taking guys out of their comfort zone. How much do you think the length that you showed to Trey tonight sort of did that for him?
It did tonight, right? It certainly did tonight. But again, there was a lot of team length out there tonight, and that mattered too. It was when we did have to switch, somebody pretty long on him as well. And again, I just thought we challenged, especially when he was roaming around looking for somebody to pass to. We made a lot of his passes difficult, out cutters, all that stuff. Yeah.
Nick, after the draft, you were talking about Christian and saying how theoretically having that type of rim protection could help your perimeter guys ramp up the aggression even more. Did you see some of that tonight?
Well, he had a good game. I thought I thought he swung at a lot of them, right, which is what we want him to do. He was going after them. Offensively, he was open. He was screening, rolling, and was a big target. Tried to dunk everything he catched. I like that as well. So, that's it. Screen, roll, and block shots is pretty good, and he was active out there tonight.
Nick, have you noticed anything in particular with Scottie's shooting over the past year and a half, or any tweaks in particular to his shooting form, or anything that you've liked from sort of the first day you got him to today?
Oh yeah, he's worked and made some mechanical adjustments and worked pretty hard on them. I think that's for certain. And worked at the reps, that's for certain as well. And then it just transfers to confidence, right? It's always mechanics, and then can you execute those mechanics in the game, and do you have the confidence to pull the trigger? So, don't get carried away here on one big shooting night, but still, I think the willingness to step into them and take them is what I like more than anything.
Kim had a little stretch to start the third.
From Burke and Malachi,
Yep.
in like 6 or 7 minutes each, played really, really well. Is that the kind of stuff you need from those ready guys?
Kim was great, I thought, tonight in his little stints, and that was especially. I thought he gave us a big boost in the second half because they came out and scored like a ton right off the bat. Christian gets hit in the eye, and Kim came in and makes a three, and then a couple of, I think he might have had a block himself or had a big defensive play or a steal or something. Got to the free throw line once too, made those, and then got to run a little bit because he was playing well. That was huge. And again, it's good. I think. If Kim can play these short stints with tremendous energy, then we don't miss much there at that position.
How much of an advantage is it for? Sorry.
That's all right. It's all right. Go ahead, Mike. You got it.
No, it was my fault. You asked the question I was going to ask, and I interrupted you. So yeah.
Okay. It all works out.
That was my bad.
Went so polite.
How handy is it, or how much of an advantage is it when Scottie is playing point guard, gets in pick and roll? He made a couple of passes like over the defense versus was trying to snake it off the side or through a seam or something like that?
Well, I thought he made a variety of passes, right? Like he made some strong side zip outs that just getting off it quick and guys were ready, and he hits a roll or some, for those guys to get some at the rim action. Made some weak side kickouts as well, and that's really kind of, when you're playing the screen roll, can you find the four guys? Because you never know what presents itself, and having vision to hit every part of the screen and roll is ideally what you're after.
Scottie, I guess with Fred out of the lineup, you wanted to make sure there's no three-point shooting on the floor?
Nah, I just was taking the looks that they were giving me, trying to capitalize, make the right plays, make it at the right time.
Do you feel a big difference in terms of like your comfort level when you get the ball beyond the arc from where you were a year ago?
I don't think so. I think things are just the same. I've been feeling pretty good out there. It's just about how aggressive I am, trying to do things within the offense, trying to move the ball, trying to get things going.
Nick was saying before the game that even though you put in the work and your jumper has improved, that he wants you to be aggressive and get to the rim a little bit more. How do you find the balance between kind of doing those two things?
Just try to be aggressive. Try to force yourself in there. Try to get deep paint, kick out shots. I feel like everything just opens up. When people get downhill, get to the basket, it's just so many more options, being able to get easy baskets, score. I feel like last year I feel like I was pretty good in the paint. I feel like when I get in the paint, I would get really good looks, and it's more easy finishes for me. So me being able to go downhill, get in the paint, be aggressive, being able to kick out to shooters, it just opens so many different things for our offense.
Some of the passes you made when you were going downhill, like you had a couple of dump offs to Christian and Pascal, like right under the basket over the defense. Like when are you making a decision whether to try and take it to score and get rid of it?
I would say when the defense commits, they help up or try to hedge it. I feel like the roll's open. Christian sets great screens and rolls, or whoever's setting a great screen and roll, I'm able to get over the defense and be able to hit it to the roll for easy dunks. So I feel like when the defense commits, you just take what they give you.
Are you seeing that more clearly this year versus last year? Has it slowed down? I guess, has the speed slowed down a bit for you and you're able to read it better?
I feel like it's the same. I feel like I've been knowing the game. I've been have the IQ. Every game's just a different game for me. So whichever thing is there, whichever position I'm playing, it's just every game is different. So it just depends on where I'm at on the floor.
Scottie, we're only 7 games into the season, but there were some fans chanting MVP for Siakam when he was leaving the floor. What does it kind of mean to see, the fact that he's kind of getting that love from the fan base?
I feel like Pascal, he's been killing it, been playing at MVP level. He's been playing really well for us. He's been doing so many different things to help our team offensively and defensively. So I feel like he should be in that question of being an MVP with the level he's playing at. We just keep winning games. I feel like it's just going to keep helping him more and more.
When it comes to how you attack off the bounce in those isolations, you can go to the bully drives a lot, go into the post-ups, but when you're trying to get past the original guy, do you look to the top foot? What are you trying to attack?
When am I trying to attack? I'm just really trying to find different ways to try to get by him, get into a different combo, then probably try to attack the top foot, try to make him open up, and then go, give him a bump, and then try to make the defense commit, so then I can find different ways to penetrate, get to the basket, or kick out the shooters.
I know it's still early, but you've been shooting the 3-ball really well at the start of the season. Have you noticed a difference in the way that teams and defenses are approaching you?
I would say it's kind of really like the same. I feel like they're still daring me to shoot the ball, but I feel like I've been working on trying to be consistent on my jump shot. So I'm just worried about myself. I'm not really worried about what the defense is doing. I'm just worried about myself.
You got a thing on your head, you can't hear it.
Huh?
You got a thing on your head, you can't hear it.
Nah, I can hear everything.
What's this costume?
I don't think it's a costume. It's just a fit. Yeah.
Did you get it from Gary?
Huh?
Did you get it from Gary Trent Jr.?
Oh, Gary wore that before? Yeah, Gary can. I can believe that. Nah, definitely. If I'm in Gary's stuff, I'm proud of. Nah, I'm cheap. I have proud of.
Yeah, Pascal, the crowd shouting MVP as you're kind of on the free throw line tonight. How does that make you feel after another strong game?
Yeah, another day, another night. Trying to get better, and focusing on the plan I had and things like that I have in mind, and continue to do everything that I can for the team to win. And yeah, like that's literally what I have in mind. Nothing else. Obviously, it's appreciated, but like I'm focused on just continuing to be the best that I can be for my team to win, and yeah, just going out there every single night and trying to win the game. So.
Tonight you had more free throws in a game than you've had at all this season. Was that plan of attack from the very start to get to the rim and get?
I mean, I try to do that every night. Today was good. I felt good. It was amazing. Yeah, now I know how some of those guys feel. So yeah, it felt good, man. But I worked on it a lot. Just continue to be aggressive, finding angles and. Trying to manipulate the defense and do different things. Yeah, like that was like an objective for me, for myself, just going in there into the season, like finding ways to get to the free throw line. Obviously, I have to convert it, when I get there. But the first thing is to get there. Yeah, I see, Doug. You don't have to do all that, but yeah, no, I just want to, I feel like the guys that get to the next level, they do that at a high level. So I want to be able to do that.
I know you and Scottie both put a lot of work into your jumpers this summer, and the results are showing early in the season. I know it's still early, but how much do you think that's going to open things up, not only for you and for Scottie, but for the team to be shooting the ball the way you have?
Yeah, we have to make threes, and I think that's where the game is going. And then I think the way we play the game, like, it's like if guys can step up to get to our bodies, and that's like easy baskets. So I think the more efficient we are, and the more we actually take those threes, like the better we are as a team. I believe that, and yeah, coach is always on me about it, and yeah, like I think if I make threes at a high clip, like, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Scottie hit you for one or two buckets right under the rim, passing over the defense. He just threw a variety of passes tonight. Do you see his development as a playmaker on display this year?
I think he's always been a playmaker. Like I feel like he wants to pass the basketball. He wants to, obviously we know all these little fancy passes. But he's a willing passer, and like he has that ability. So I don't see why not.
Was that sort of two-handed outlet he threw you that you got the free throws on?
Well, he was mad at me because I didn't get the layup, or I didn't try to shoot the layup. I mean, I thought Gary was open, but obviously I got the rebound, which it's still a win-win anyway. But no, he wasn't mad, but he was just like, you got it. I had a layup, but so I felt like, yeah. But that was a good pass. Yeah, he can do that in his sleep though.
What's the same about guys like Cam and Malachi who don't play for days and days, and then tonight give you 6 or 7 good minutes in a row when you need them? Yeah. Sort of stay ready guys.
Yeah.
What does that say about them, and how do you guys appreciate what they do?
Yeah, no, I think it's important, and I, we always on this guy. I see Malachi every day, man. Like I come in every day, I see him. He's in the gym working, like before games, after games. Like he's trying to get ready, stay ready, and we try to encourage him to do so, and just wait for the opportunity. Like this is a league, it's a long season, and the more ready you are, like you're gonna get your opportunity, like once in a while, and you have to be able to take advantage of it. So yeah, good for those guys to come in and help us. I think we're gonna need everyone that we can get.
I know it's like not that much of a sample size, but what have you noticed in terms of the step that OG has taken defensively?
Yeah, I think OG was special tonight on defense, and I think that when he has that energy, like he can be one of those guys that like defensive player of the year kind of guy. Like I think he has that ability, and it's just a matter of him doing it. Like, to be honest, and I always try to encourage him. Like, his IQ on defense, his reads, and like when he's locked in, like you can see it. He's every deflection, he always feels like he can get the ball, or the ball just finds him. So. I think I try to just tell him, like, man, like, you special, in that sense, and if you really apply yourself into it every single night, like he can definitely be a nightmare for a lot of offensive players in the league.
You said just another day is the MVP chance and stuff like that. Have you always had that approach playing basketball, that even keel mentality, the on the court, off the court, or is it part of a development as a star to more attention and stuff like that?
I think you learn. Obviously, like we had, I had a great example of that with Kawhi, like someone that just didn't really, like, nothing really fazed him. He was just focused on his goals, and his goals was just winning, and he didn't. It didn't matter if he shot, bad or whatever, or if he had a great game. Like, he had the same mentality. But also for me, like, just personally going through stuff, like, I understand that, again, things come and go. Like, I'm not attached to it. I'm attached to the process of it. I'm attached to coming in every single day, working hard, trying to be the best player that I can be. And no matter the results, like, just having the same mentality and going at it every day. And when you go through a lot and there's a lot of ups and downs, you understand that, again, like, I'm me at the end of the day. Like, if I go out there and I have 0 points, I'm me. And if I go out there and I have 50 points, like, I'm still me. And as long as I put the work in every day, like, I'm okay with the results, like, either way.
Pascal, when Christian's in the game, do you feel like when you guys are defending on the perimeter that you guys can be even more aggressive because of how he can protect the rim?
Yeah, no, of course. I don't know who asked me that, but it was like, oh, what's the difference with Christian in the game? It's just like, he's just tall, like, he's just there. I think that we play a lot of teams, and we have those kind of guys out there that you beat your defender and they're just in the way, and I think that he can be that because he got that ability, and he definitely helps us. And when he's out there on the floor, I try to tell him to stay out of foul trouble. Maybe not the best person to say that, because sometimes I foul too, but just stay solid. Like, sometimes just you being there, like, makes a big difference. I know you want to make a play, but most of the time you don't need that, really. But he's definitely going to continue to grow. Like, I'm on him a lot. Everyone is on him, making sure that he stays focused. But yeah, he's a huge difference for us when he plays in his focus.
When you communicate with him, do you find that he's, like, quick to take those lessons and implement them, like, the next game?
Yeah, no, I think he really listens. Like, I think sometimes you talk to people and you can tell if they're listening or not. Like, and he's one of those guys, like, he's listening. I don't know if he's listening about the fouls, but because he always reaches in, and I try to tell him not to. And, like, if you see in a game, like, we talk sometimes, and after the foul, I try to tell him. I don't know if he listens, but for the most part, he does, though.
When you're introduced to the game a little bit later in life, does it almost kind of change the ways in which you learn and develop because you have more developed skills overall, if that makes sense as a question?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me personally, like, I just always learn, like, a lot of different things. Like, I went to boarding school. Like, I learned Latin, I learned Greek, like, I learned English, like, I learned so many languages. I learned a lot of things. So, like, me comprehending things, like, it just happens, like, just because I was put in position throughout my whole life where I had to adapt and learn and be in those situations where I wasn't really comfortable, and I had to find a way to be comfortable. So I think that helps me. I mean, I don't know about everybody else.
Like, almost combating the idea that it's too late to kind of expand or grow because you picked it up a little bit later.
Yeah, I don't know, Kayla. That's a good question, but I don't really know how to answer you on that one.
Pascal, you mentioned Kawhi, and Nick is somebody who mentions Kawhi a lot as kind of what you learned from him this season he was here. What can you say about your relationship with him now, and are you guys still in touch at all, or do you get any advice from him since he left the team?
I mean, we don't really talk as much. I mean, obviously I have his number, but we don't really talk that much. I'm sure when we see each other, it's always it's always love, and for me, like, I always feel like if I feel like if I reach out, he's gonna be there, right? Like, it's just a matter of me reaching out. But when we see each other, it's always good.
For a guy that has that vision, how much does it help that he also has the size to be able to see over the top of the defense and get a lot of those passes off to the small guys?
Man, he helps a lot. He helps a lot. Him just being 6'8", 6'9", whatever they say he is. Just running the pick and roll with him. I think they're trying to kind of like blitz him, and like it just allowed him to see over the defenders. And he saw me. I was open. And, I just saw the guy at the rim, but it was kind of late, so I just went up and for the dunk. But it just feels amazing to have somebody who can play the point guard position, and he's like 6'9". So.
Crazy is that he goes from playing center one day and playing point guard the next.
That just shows how versatile he is. Like he can play every position basically out there. He can play every position. And the good thing is that he's willing to do it. When coaches tell him to play the 5, he's cool with it. Some other people, we gonna tell him to play the 5, they will be like, no, I'm not the same. But he's willing to do it for the team. So it just show what type of player he is.
How are you and the refs getting along these days?
Huh?
How are you and the refs getting along these days? When you're back in Brooklyn, is it getting better?
Man, it's getting better. But we're gonna get there. It's gonna take time, but we're gonna get there. I'm still, like I said, I'm still a rookie, so some of the calls is just, But we're gonna get there.
Still a rookie, but your confidence in the game is growing exponentially. Kind of what's going into that? Like, why do you feel so confident on the court? Like, this short time.
Like I keep saying, it's just me being myself. Just going out there and not trying to do too much. Like I said every day, just do whatever the coaches want me to do, and just go out there and you just use my brand sometimes and just try to keep up with the other guys. Like a guy like Pascal, the other team they're gonna have their attention on him, so he's just trying to make his job easier. Basically, go out there and make his job easier, and I feel like that's what I do.
I know you work a lot on finishing around the rim, usually working with Big Cat in practice, and so I'm giving you some advice there. Well, what's sort of the message in terms of going up strong and finishing strong and focusing on that?
I just got like you said, Big Cat. He been helping me a lot. Just go out there and be strong with the ball. Just be going out there, be strong with the ball. And I think I got blocked once today, and I was really mad after that because I felt like I felt really done that. And I just gotta go stronger. Go up stronger, and I'm gonna continue to work on it. And like having somebody like Big Cat, he was an amazing big man, and he's there helping me every day. I think he's really gonna help me for sure.